John 1:5. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Mikheil Javakhishvili. Rabbit. Dedicated to Mikheil Asatiani. The story he told inspired this novel. Sidoni, Sidoni, my child, Martha whispers, leaning over her only daughter sprawled across the bed. Can you hear me, child? What do you want? Why are you screaming? She snaps back angrily. Get up, my child. We have a guest. A guest? Sidonia's voice softens. Who is it? A professor, child. Professor Fridon Dorashvili. Really? I'll be right out. And suddenly an electric chandelier lit up the all-white bedroom. White walls, 2 white beds, a white marble table, and a young woman dressed in white, herself as pale as the toy rabbit she pressed against her chest. A white dog, little Spitz, raised its doll-like head from the white sheet, and at the sound of a stranger's voice in the hallway, leapt up and fled to the other room, whimpering resentfully, its long tousled fur bouncing and tumbling behind it. A cat curled up on the pillow, also white and long-haired, arched its back and scratched its nose with a paw. Then it sprang up as well and followed Spitz with a tiger-like stroll. Martha also left, closing the door behind her. Sidonia sat at the vanity table and stared into the mirror intently, looking at the stranger sitting behind the glass. She could hardly recognize herself. Sidonia had always been very pale, and now, today she truly looks like that rabbit still resting on her chest. Her cheeks are sunken, just like Juan Cher's were. Juan, John, John. Her child, a 4-year-old boy, chubby and soft, who was laid to rest today. They say he was buried. The others say so, although, in reality, Juan Cher would often sit in his mother's lap with the white rabbit tucked under his arm, the same rabbit Sidonia now cuddled, and glancing from his mother to the rabbit and back again, would keep asking, Mommy, do you look like my bunny? Yes, baby, I do, she would answer. And the bunny looks like you? Yes, my love, it does. She smiled, answering in her mind. To him who rests in the black soil, you have or had, a sharp eye, my sweet one, my Juan Cher. Your bunny and I look very much alike. And suddenly she noticed a cracked smile in the mirror. She placed the rabbit in front of the mirror. Squatting, the white rabbits faced each other, looking surprised. This rabbit gave birth to the other one, the one that is staring from the mirror. The mother thinks, just as I gave birth to him, my boy who now rests somewhere in the ground. One rabbit is mine, the other belongs to Juan, who now rests, or was put to rest, still can't tell. Over there. She stared also at the other woman, the one sitting in the mirror, her face plastered with white powder. She no longer looked anything like Sidonia. She was old. Her dark eyes sunk into even darker hollows, and strange sparkles shone from them, restless, devoid of thought, bewildered. Only the hair of the woman in the mirror resembled Sidonia's, thick, voluminous, dark straw-colored. She probably used oxidation, too, like Sidonia, and dyed her hair with hydrogen peroxide. It's clear, thinks Sidonia, fixing her hair with her white hands. Clear I am different, and this woman is somebody else. I am Sidonia Stavrishvili, while she is unfamiliar, a stranger. Since this woman does not speak, is mute, I will name her myself, Salome, for example. They greeted each other and smiled, as if glad to have met. Sidonia seemed happier. Well then, she told herself, my name is Sidonia, and hers, Salome. Let her also be Stavrishvili, Idish's wife, ha. That's great. My husband will have 2 wives, Sidonia and Salome. He. Let him become a Muslim and open a harem. He. Since I am not enough for him, let him have another one. He's always complaining that I am cold. Now he's going to have a hot one. Ha ha ha. He will probably leave me alone, will let me be. Haven't I deserved it? He's been torturing me for 5 years. I have never understood why couples go crazy. True, love can drive one even to suicide, but that... Phew. Thank God he seems to have given up on me. I made him. Salome. Now it's your turn to serve him, she whispers to her double in the mirror and nods sarcastically. Salome nods back as if agreeing with her from behind the glass. Sidonia continues, It's even worse. I am happy since both my children are alive, but you, poor, unfortunate you, your child Juanshiri has died, the one you buried today, and the younger one, Kato. God, you gave her an ugly name. You came to despise her so much that your husband, Edisha Stavrishvili, this surname is ugly too, separated you from your child and sent her to his brother's family. You poor mother, hapless, miserable. And both mothers weep, pitying one another, the original and the double. Fat tears roll down their emaciated cheeks, washing away the makeup and dripping onto the marble top. Oh, right, a guest, Sidonia remembered. Both women, Sidonia and Salome, perked up at once, their faces lighting up. Smiling at each other, they rose. So it's a done thing, Mrs. Salome. Sidonia spoke to her double in her mind, gathering some confidence. It's settled. Your name is Salome from now on. That's the first. Henceforth I'll rest, and you will perform your wifely duties to Edisha. Don't worry, I'll be working for you, doing everything myself. But as of this moment, you must satisfy my husband's lust. You won't have anything else to do, that's the second. You lost your older child, Juanshiri, and you must deal with your conscience because you know very well the reason yourself. Don't make me say it, that's the third. Since Juanshiri's death is your fault, you must bear its weight. You can carry it until your death, if you can or wish to. If not, the Vera Bridge is nearby, that's the fourth and the last. Me? Well, leave me alone and let me be. I won't have time for you any more. I have 2 children to raise, Juanshiri and Kato. Why are you looking at me like that? Are you surprised? There is nothing out of the ordinary. Just like you, I have 2 children, yes, 2. One is 4, the other 3. Your children are the same age. Our children have the same names, Juanshiri and Kato, or Kiti. Are you puzzled again? There is nothing extraordinary. But don't forget, mine are alive. What is the problem? What should I do? I said both are alive, Juanshiri and Kato, and your Juanshiri is dead. Yes, he died. My condolences. I understand. I feel for you. I have children too. I am also a mother, but sorry. Accept my apology. The guest is waiting. Bye, poor Salome. Farewell, unfortunate mother. Sidonia hugged the white rabbit. Salome did the same. Sidonia looked at the new mother with pity and lowered her white head. Salome nodded back. Sidonia moved toward the door. Salome turned her back as well. Sidoni, this is Professor Fridon Dorashvili. Very nice to meet you, the doctor grinned. Professor, sir. Sidonia looks at Dorashvili with a smile and does not hurry to withdraw her hand. We've met before. Really? My apologies. I was your student 5 years ago. Right, I remember now. The doctor is pleased. Hello, Sidonie. How are you? How are you, girl? What's going on? How are you doing? Thank you. I'm grateful that you remembered me. It would not have been surprising if you had not. It's been 5 years since I left. Of course, my appearance has changed. She abruptly raised her thin white hand, fixed her wavy hair, shifted her slender body, stretched as if yawning, then looked with a mysterious smile through her half-closed eyes, first at her husband, then at Dorashvili, as if asking both, "What do you think?" Have I really changed, aged, or am I as beautiful as before? Edisheri recognized the familiar demeanor. Sidonia always used this trick to charm someone, and his heart wept. Even today, here, he thought, hardly 6 hours since we buried our only boy, and this woman. So, have I changed much? Sidonia asked the doctor. No, not at all. Take a seat, Sidonia invited the doctor. Besides, I've changed my last name. I was Yarismanitsi then, and now I'm Stavrishvili. Ha, such a silly rule, changing your last name. Do you agree? She giggled while thinking, Be careful. Don't lose yourself. Her laugh cut short, as if by a sword. She looked at the doctor. Fridon Dorashvili sat with his arms crossed and a slight grin, his dark, piercing eyes boring into Sidonia's soul. The woman shifted her restless eyes away from the doctor's frozen stare. Suddenly she weakened, broke down. Her smile washed away, her lips folded inward, the light in her eyes extinguished, as if she had aged 2 years in an instant, and her voice came out rusty. Edisher, you'll be late for work, she reminded her husband. Edisheri works at a club as a lotto controller and starts work at 9 in the evening. He had already explained this to the doctor and had even apologized for having to leave early. That's all right, the professor replied. It may work out better without you present. Alone, it will be easier for me to get to the root of her illness. She might close herself off if you remain. I'll leave at once, Edisher answered his wife, beginning to drink his tea faster. The professor spoke of old days. I remember you, Sidonie. I remember you well. You always took a front seat in the auditorium. Yes, I was always early, Sidonia suddenly revived. You studied diligently. I loved your subjects, psychiatry, neurology. Why did you give up then? I got married. Was that the only reason? And he crept into her soul again. She almost answered, My husband made me give it up, but restrained herself in time. Remembering that he was still beside her, she stumbled. That was it. A child, a family, studying. It's hard to do 10 things at the same time. Edisheri apologized and left. Sidonia closed the door behind him, returned, and sat down. The doctor stared straight into her eyes. She met the professor's gaze, shining into her heart, with willpower, cheering herself up at the same time. Be tough. Don't surrender. Lock yourself in tight. He won't win. The doctor seemed to read her thoughts. He sensed stubbornness in her tightly drawn lips and tense forehead. All of a sudden, the headstrong woman forced a smile, steel shining in her eyes. Now the doctor softened, almost melted. His eyes, no longer searching or creeping, gleamed gently, caressing and twinkling with a charming shimmer. Why are you frowning, Sidonie? Me? Frowning? Ha ha ha. I don't get it. Why would I be frowning at a guest, especially at a doctor like you, a brilliant scientist, a scholar? I am not a brilliant scientist, Sidonie. At this moment in this room, I am not even a doctor. I am only a guest. Nothing more. Nothing more, is that true? Then why haven't you visited me before? Please, try the jam. My fault, guilty as charged. You're aware that Edisheri is my distant relative. He invited me several times, but what can you do? I was busy. I believe you, although, please have some jam, Mr. Fridon, the doctor reminded her. Mr. Fridon. I like that name. Eat something. Your tea is getting cold. Choose. Cherry, rosehip, quince, hazelnut. Taste it. It's delicious. The doctor scooped up some quince jam and spoke into the teacup. I am a guest, but I should tell you, you've grown thinner and lost color, so... So, Sidonia interrupted, you are a guest and also a doctor, right? Then you have to assess me, correct? Don't be startled, I won't harm you. Startled? You think I'm afraid? No, Professor, respectfully. Sidonia and fear are not familiar with each other. Everybody knows that this woman, small and skinny, is as brave and daring as a boy. Nobody has ever heard of me being afraid, Sidonia retorted. It seemed the professor had found something, reached down, and seized it. I have heard the same, that Sidonia is an extremely brave woman. That is why I was surprised. Why, then, is she avoiding the assessment? Who told you I'm avoiding it? Sidonia was bewildered. I have not refused. Please, assess me here and now, if you wish. I have time. Don't rush. Pour me another cup of tea. And he added immediately, I remember your father. He was a lawyer. When did he pass away? 8 years ago. I reckon he was an anxious man. Sidonia handed him a teacup, sank into the chair, and looked at the doctor as though begging for mercy. Then she whispered, You want to examine my ancestry, don't you? Even so. Didn't you promise to tell me everything? To let me assess you? I know. I understand. I was your student and learned a great deal from you. You're trying to link my illness to my bloodline, aren't you, Mr. Friedon? Your illness? So you are ill, Sidonie? It was as though Sidonia had been caught stealing, stunned, confused. Then she snapped out of it and spoke, her resolve shattered. No, I am not ill. Eddie Sherry and the others thought Sidonia had gone crazy. That's why you were invited, Mr. Friedon. Otherwise, why would I need a doctor? I believe you. There is probably nothing wrong with you, the doctor mumbled to himself. Then suddenly he fired off. What are you pressing close to your chest, Sidonie? It's a rabbit, a white rabbit. Our rabbit. Whose? Mine and Jew Ansher's. My son's. She smiled and pressed the toy closer against her chest. Where is your son now? Your child? At first she glared at the doctor, then smirked and pointed her finger toward the room. He's there, in that room. Let's go. Show me. I want to see your child. The mother leapt up like a tigress, tossed the rabbit into the armchair, opened her arms, and stood as if shielding her cub from a bloodthirsty enemy. No, no, you can't. Not allowed. Why is it not allowed, woman? He's asleep. Don't wake him up. Don't wake him up. The mother and the doctor locked gazes, piercing each other with their eyes. The small dog is shredding the rabbit. The white cat is curled up on the chair, watching the owner and the guest in amazement. All right, be as you wish, the doctor said and took a seat again. Show me later. Sidonia remained standing as if on a crucifix, her eyes glazed over, welling up as though she were about to cry. Then she lifted the rabbit, tiptoed back, and slowly sat down, cradling it like a child, caressing and humming so gently it seemed she really held a sleeping child in her embrace and feared waking him. Go to sleep, my love, my boy. Hush now, baby, my Juan Sherry. She patted the rabbit, rocking it while swaying herself. That summer Sidonia spent in Tsagveri. Juan Sherry and Kato were with her, while her mother was left behind in the city to take care of Edisher. Those were 2 joyful months. There were many young men and endless amusements. They visited Bakuriani, wandered through the Tsemi forest, went to Timotei's Ubani, or descended to Borjomi, staying out until dawn. Once or twice she took her children along. At other times they stayed with a nanny. She took excellent care of them. Never once did she do anything wrong. She was a faithful, diligent woman. That's why Sidonia was so trusting and careless. What else could she have done? She couldn't keep her children on her like pins all day long. She was still a young woman, not even 26 years old. She would rot in the city for 9 months, barely conscious once every 2 or 3 days. Only summer belonged to her. Sidonia was a mother of 2 children, but she knew how to enjoy herself just like other mothers. No more, no less. She raised her children as other women did, and also took care of herself. Again, just like the others. At the same time, nobody could compete with her love for her babies. When she was with her children, happiness made her as wild as those little monkeys, racing, rolling around, mischievous and naughty, filling the cottage with her laughter, screams, and hilarity. God is her witness. She was never fully happy when she left the children with the nanny and went out alone. Whether she was at a concert in Borjomi or in the forests of Bakuriani, the instant she thought of her son and daughter, she would be seized by dark maternal anguish, grow restless, almost mad. As if trying to free herself from invisible ties, she would turn into a menace, ruining everyone's joy and poisoning her own mood. And the mother's delirium would be extinguished only when she burst into the cottage, woke the entire household, embraced Juansher, even if he was asleep, chattered with him for at least an hour, and then surrendered her tired body and mind to slumber. Don't condemn Sidonia. Don't doubt her love for her child. Even Martha, her own mother, called her a crazy mom. Gee, I know about motherly love, but I've never seen a crazy mother like you. One of these days you'll hurt this child, one way or another. Breaking, tearing, suffocating. Every time she left Tsakveri, Sidonia would return with a bunch of irises for Ju Anshari. The little boy delighted in these flowers. His sense of smell was hard to satisfy. He would bury his face in the bouquet and grow still. Strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, or any other fruit gave him far less pleasure than these great white flowers, flashy, fragrant, tall, fully open, 6-lipped, 7-tongued, traced with pale veins. Here it is, Juan, your iris. Juan Sherry grew fixated on this flower last year, when he was only 2, and never forgot it. That day, no, do not remind Sidonia of that Friday. She was going to Bakuriani. That morning, Juan Sherry was not feeling well, weak, sluggish, as if drained. Sidonia spent the day in the forest. She didn't take the children with her that day because she couldn't always carry them around like a handkerchief. As she was leaving, Juan Sherry was playing in the garden. He had planted the irises and was watering them. The mother watched him through the window for a while, smiling. Juan stopped watering. He picked up his favorite rabbit, the one he had brought from the city for him, wound it up, played a waltz, and carried it from iris to iris so they could listen and dance too, while he followed the music with his melodious voice and his tiny hands and feet. Ha ha ha, Ju Ansher was so silly then. When she returned, Ju Ansheri was yawning and seemed feverish. The nanny complained, I tried my best all day, but he wouldn't eat anything. The mother couldn't make him eat either. He was undressed and put to bed. As always, Sidonia did not hold back on caresses and chatter that evening. She tucked both children into sleep and left again, because it was an exceptional night. The gorged moon wandered the sky, following the already excited Sidonia through windows, doors, and even wooden walls. On either side of the valley, 2 dark, mythical whales lay in eternal slumber. Below, dark waters rustled in the ravine. Farther away, near the station and along the forest's edge, lit by moonlight and electricity, shadows moved, perhaps girls and boys chasing each other. Sidonia walked along the dark street as if drunk, still unsure whether she would follow her friend to Bakuriani or blame her child's illness and turn back. There was plenty of time left until the train's arrival, and she would be able to make a decision by then. For now, she would keep walking and decide later. Even if she followed him, she had to be home by 2 o'clock the next day. Definitely. She gave instructions to the nanny. Don't let him wander far away. Feed him. If his fever gets worse, call the doctor and— Thus, she paid her due. Time passed. No, don't ask Sidonia how much time passed. She does not remember. She would not tell you even if she did. So Sidonia stormed into the room at 6 in the morning with a big bouquet of irises and shouted from a distance, "Juan Sherry, my boy, are you awake? Run to me, greet me, see what I brought you." But nobody ran to greet her. She found Juani in bed, feverish, his mouth open, hoarse and frail. The nanny was sitting by the bedside, one hand on Juani's forehead. Kato was asleep. Instead of the familiar ruckus, the mother was met by two pairs of eyes filled with fear and reproach. Ju Anshari tried to smile, but a loud, raspy cough twisted the smile into a painful grimace on his flushed face. "What is this? What happened to him? What happened?" Juani's throat had swollen. His palate turned red, then yellow. His temperature rose as well. "Open your mouth, Juan. Open it, my love. What did you say? My God, he can't even speak." She looked into her child's mouth and froze. "Oh no," she moaned as if she had been burned. A cold wave swept from her brain down to her feet. Juan Sherry's palate and throat seemed coated with spoiled egg yolk. His breath reeked of rotten egg as well. "Doctor, hurry up! Doctor!" He was here twice. "And what? What did he say? Come on, speak." "That we should take him to the city immediately." "Come on, say everything. What does he think he has? What happened to him?" The nanny was crying, whimpering softly. Diphtheria. Diphtheria? What are you saying, woman?" The mother collapsed onto the wooden bench and stiffened like wood herself, as if someone had severed her legs and her tongue. For a while, all she did was cover her misty eyes with her hands. Yet, such is nature's rule, a mother in trouble never thinks for long. She sprang up like a wounded wild animal and screamed, "You stupid, ignorant fool! Why did you wait for me? Why didn't you send someone for me? Ma'am, I didn't know. You dummy, moron, why did you wait for me? Why didn't you take him to the city right away? Even now, why didn't you bring him to the station? I could have gone on the same train. How was I supposed to know that? How was I supposed to know? How was I supposed to know? Hurry, a doctor and a carriage. Pay him as much as he asks." An hour later, a black carriage is flying through the valley, followed by a cloud of dust. At the turns, the carriage tosses like a rocking cradle, on the verge of plunging into the dark water. Inside, Sidonia sits with Juan Sherry in her lap. "Go on, make haste," the mother screams. "Ma'am, it will turn over. Sidonia must catch the train to the city, or Juan Sherry may... Who knows? If you get me there on time, I'll give you one tumani," the mother yells. The coachman lashes the whip. The carriage rolls downhill like a ball. Juan Sherry is still in her lap. On one side lies the enormous bouquet of irises she brought him this morning. On the other, the white rabbit he brought him from the city. Sidonia cannot remember how it happened, how the bouquet or the rabbit came with her, or why. There, you can see smoke rising from the factory, then the first buildings, and finally the station. Suddenly, the train whistle rattled the deep ravine, sounding like a snake's hiss in the mother's ears. "I'm late! I'm late!" Sidonia screams, clutching the coachman with one hand, as if trying to leap from the speeding carriage. The brightly painted train crawls like a dragon across the black bridge and disappears into the hillside. Yet, by nature's law, a mother in trouble never hesitates for long. There is a parked car near the station. Its owner is having lunch in the restaurant. Sidonia stands over him, holding Juani in her arms. "If I'm late, he will die," the mother sobs. "I'll be eternally in your debt. Just let me, help me, save me. Please, ma'am, take it. I have a child, too." I am a father as well. The car's roar sounds deafening in Tashishkari. Go on, make haste. On the other bank of the Mtkvari, somewhere below, beyond the hills, the train whistles. On this side, the clay-colored car roars along the winding clay road, growling, shrieking, shaking, rocking, zooming away. The car seethes like a tail-burned scorpion. Infuriated, it drives through the Zanarvili Valley, humming and hissing. It buzzes across Kortaneti like an arrow and flies over the Chimereti Valley like a slingstone. Go on, faster. Step on it, driver, or you'll carry such a heavy sin on your thick neck that you won't be able to rid yourself of it till your death. How are you, Juan? Talk to me, my love. He's struggling to open his eyes. The child moves his lips and mumbles, more like growls, but the rattle of the car swallows his muttering, and the mother cannot hear a word he says. Sidonia places the irises on the boy's chest and embraces them both. There, below, the long, misty trail of smoke runs through the forest. We're catching up! We'll catch up! The mother screams. They are in Akaldaba. The train to Kashuri leaves from here. There it goes. It has just pulled out and slipped into the hem of the mountain's green dress. What is your name, driver? David. Datiko. Go faster, please. Speed up. I'm pushing it to the max, ma'am. It can't go any faster. I'm afraid it will break down. If we catch up, I'll add 2 more Tumani to the promised 2. Hurry. The car struggles even harder, caught in its own whirlpool. They reach the fields. On the other side, the dragon slithers along. On this side, the clay-colored scorpion wriggles. Both competitors are clearly visible. Handkerchiefs wave from the train wagons, as if encouraging the car. Datiko, what can you tell me? We'll catch up with it, ma'am, either at the Kvishketi platform or in Kashuri. The car runs opposite the train, which still crawls along on the far side. Then, as the train rounds a bend and crosses the iron bridge, the car overtakes it. Great, dear, great, Sidonia urges Datiko on. Now the train runs behind them, panting, chirping, and clacking. Finally, Kvishketi. The platform comes into view, right there on the right by the garden. We made it. We caught up with it. The car slows unexpectedly. It huffs, shakes, and stops. What's going on now? What happened? God have mercy. Run, ma'am, run, the driver yells. You may still catch it. The train passes her. Sidonia throws money at the driver, clutches Juani, and runs. The train slows down and stops. The mother runs, hair disheveled, and screams, Wait! Wait for me. There are about 100 feet left to the train. From the last wagon they wave hands, hats, and handkerchiefs, making quite a noise. Sidonia runs with her head hung low, stumbling. 4-year-old chubby Jew Anshari is heavy. Oh God, why doesn't the driver help her? She looks back and sees Datiko standing by the car, looking at her. Wait, wait for me. But no one hears her screams save for herself. The train whistles, gathers speed, and takes with it the hopeless cries of the mortally wounded mother. Datiko is still looking toward her and sees the woman stumble, then fall onto the grass and lie motionless. As the doctor administered the serum to the child, it was Sidonia, not Juansheri, who grimaced. Juani lay unconscious, gasping. Doctor, tell me something, the mother begged, sobbing, clinging to the stranger's arm as if she were drowning. Tell me, don't hide it from me. Is he going to survive? I can't tell you anything, ma'am. He'll survive, if it isn't too late. The words, too late, burn Sidonia like fire. I told you already I was only 4 hours late, the mother defends herself. When I couldn't catch the train in Kvishketi, I drove to Kashuri and took the second train from there. I know, ma'am. I don't think 4 hours would make a big difference. Sidonia is relieved. I think so, too. And if anything happens, it won't be my fault, will it, Doctor? Sure, sure. I'd even say you acted heroically. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much, Sidonia whispers calmly and feels the proud glee of a warrior who has been praised for completing a difficult mission. The doctor gave her instructions and left. Sidonia lay down beside her listless child, rested his feverish head on her arm, placed the irises next to him, and whispered, "You'll get better, my love. We worried for nothing. You'll be up in a week, playing in the garden, my boy. Your cat and your dog running after you. Now rest, my sweetie. We're both exhausted. Sleep, dear. Let's sleep. Let's sleep." But instead of sleeping, she goes on talking, using words to disperse the fear and shadows that swarm her like flies and sting like bees. Had she truly fulfilled her duty as a mother? Of course she had. She had fulfilled it from beginning to end. And what else could she have done? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Hence, let's sleep, my boy. Sleep. Although, I'll tell you a fairy tale if you want. Listen to me. Once upon a time there was a queen. Child, Martha interrupts the entertainment. Move to your bed and sleep. I'll sit with him now, or I'll call Edishiri. No, mother, no. It's unnecessary. Edisher can't leave work. And why? How is he going to help me? Then I'll sit with him. No need, Mother Martha. You're tired. Go to sleep. Sidonia won't leave Ju Ansheri for a minute. Thus the mother and the son, poisoned by fear and diphtheria, toss until morning, fighting relentlessly with their invisible foes. Sidonia, with fear, sharpened like a razor, and remorse, scorching like an inferno, and Ju Ansheri, with the toxins of diphtheria and the shadow of death, standing like a drawn sword in the middle of the room. Sidonia fell asleep, just for 10 seconds, because she had not slept for 3 nights. When she emerged from that slumber, Ju Ansheri was no longer moving. He lay sprawled on his back, bleating like a lamb. The mother started to wail like an animal about to be slaughtered. As if struck by paralysis, Ju Ansheri's arms and legs turned cold, his lifeless eyes bulging like 2 walnuts. Whatever happened after that, Sidonia doesn't remember. She wakes up in her own bed, warm and white like snow. The other room has a glass door. In that room stands a small coffin, white as snow as well, blanketed with white flowers. Ju Ansheri probably lies there. Candles flicker all around it. Women in black stand like frozen shadows. Juani is dead. The thought strikes Sidonia's mind like lightning. I killed him. It's my fault, mine alone. Then, there is poison in that drawer. It has been there for 2 years. She needed it once and obtained it. She fought herself for a month but could not prevail. She can use it now. So, Ju Ansheri is dead. When did he die? The mother does not know. How many days have passed since that morning, when Ju Ansheri was bleating like a sacrificial lamb? She does not know that either. And what is the use? It does not matter whether Sidonia slept for 1 day or 3. She knows only this. She had not slept for 3 nights before that morning. My Juani is dead, dead. There is poison in that drawer. She did not dare then, and now, she must do it now. But Sidonia will make a fool of herself. She will not dare now either. Thus there is only one thing the evil and careless mother can do. Lift her responsibility, heavy as an iron log, and carry it until death. Carry it for 10, 20, 40 years, as a camel carries its ugly, enormous hump. No, no, never, never. It's impossible, utterly impossible. My boy is dead. Dead. What should a mother do then? Scream, tear her hair out, scratch her face, smash her head against stone, or beat herself with it? She cannot escape or settle her debt so easily. cannot throw off the hump now that it has grown as big as Mimtet's Minda and is about to crush her. My only son is dead. 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 Then, if she cannot dare to drink the poison, the Mitkvari is nearby. She will jump off the balcony or... No, Sidonia, don't torture your already tormented heart. You know you won't drink the poison and you won't jump off the balcony either. No, mother, don't punish your already shattered mind. You know it too well. You can neither leap into the water nor slip your head into a noose. So the hump is becoming bigger and heavier. Sidonia is getting crushed, squirming and sizzling. She has to get rid of this burden, escape this iron hill, smothering, suffocating, or she will drown like Juani. Unexpectedly, something shifted in the mother's heart and mind, transformed, altered. Sidonia stretched, tensed, twisted, as if she were pregnant and ready to go into labor. Martha ran in from the other room. Edisheri followed, and the others entered as well. Martha is screaming, Edisheri is sobbing, and Sidonia moans and strains as if in labor, just like 4 years ago when she was giving birth to Ju-An-Sheri. And she is pleading, just as she was begging then. Mother, help me. Mommy, help. Martha has stopped screaming. She was not screaming then either. The mother's eyes are sharp. She remembered. The mother's intuition is keen too. She understood everything. And she is helping her child now, just as she was helping then, and tells everyone, "Don't worry, she'll come around soon. Please leave. Go to the other room." Everyone leaves. The husband stands like a statue and cannot decide whether he should leave as well or help his wife. Sidonia is drenched in cold sweat, grinding her teeth, as she did then. Moaning turns into shrieking, shrieking into groaning. She stretches one more time, lets out a deep sigh, and suddenly relaxes, loosens up, melts, smiles, as she did 4 years ago, as if she had given birth and calmed down. "Is it a boy?" she asks her mother as she did then, and answers herself, "Of course it's a boy, Ju-An-Sheri." And she laughs. She stopped talking. She is no longer suffocating or being crushed. She escaped whatever was choking and smothering her. Earlier, her heart had been trapped in the claws of an evil spirit, and now she blissfully rubs that place, her bare chest, and smiles with relief. The squabble and struggle with the evil spirit has stopped. Ju-An-Sheri has not died. Ju-An-Sheri is alive. Of course he has not died. Why would she need poison, or a rope, or the Vera Bridge then? It was a dream, a sinister, wicked shadow. It was a demon, a terrifying Kaji or Alkaji. They wanted to strangle, torture, and crucify Sidonia. Now there is nothing. Everything is over, finished. Everyone has disappeared, left, forever, never to return. My boy has not died. He's not dead. And she repeats these words in her heart 10 times, 1,000 times, with emphasis, stone-cold resolve, and iron-clad faith. He's not dead. I'm telling you, he's not dead. Of course he has not died. But there is a coffin in that room. Somebody's child lies there. They should bury him immediately, and Sidonia will follow that casket as well. It is her duty. It's nothing. She will follow, bury, and return. Mother, give me the dress. Is it a black dress? Sidonia has never had a black dress. It was probably borrowed, or perhaps she had it made. Dear Martha, if she had not had such a mother, her family would probably have been destroyed, and her children too. Both children, Juan and Kato. By the way, where is Kato? And on remembering her daughter, she felt a needle prick, as if a wet, cold frog had slipped under her nightgown. She is getting dressed for the funeral, slowly and carelessly, as if preparing for a stroll. The modest dress fits perfectly on Sidonia's slender body. It suits her very well. She would have had it made earlier if she had known. Blonde hair, a white face, and a black dress go beautifully together. She got up, went to the door, and stopped. She stood there for about 10 minutes only. Women stand by the door. Eddie Sherry's Aunt Palo and his niece Ketavani. She was late, Ketavani whispers to Palo. It was too late to administer the serum, otherwise he would have survived. Definitely, dear, definitely would have survived, Pelago agrees, nodding. These words pierced Sidonia like a red-hot nail. Her eyes misted over. She stumbled, but promptly regained her posture and entered the room where 20 pairs of eyes look strangely at the mourning mother from that room. There are flickering candles, a white coffin, and Juani inside it. Juan Sherry, her boy, her son. His eyes are closed, as if pushed down into their sockets, whereas yesterday, whether it was yesterday, the day before, or this morning, they were properly on the surface. They were probably closed by force. The cheeks are sunken too. Red, plump lips are folded inward, yellowed. His face is white, as if coated with white, although... No. Why would I mention talc? His face looks more like flowers, those irises that were probably brought by Martha and Edishere, not Sidonia. She carefully opened the door and tiptoed in, as if afraid to wake a corpse. She stood over him, laid a trembling hand on his forehead, and looked down. She looked at him and began to resemble him, white like her son, eyes sunken, lips folded in. She bit her lips as if keeping herself on a short rein, since they were trembling like Sidonia and trying to break free. Then she regained her composure and curbed the trembling. It was said she was late, somebody whispered again in the left corner. Sidonia flinched, but did not look. They were late. A poisoned arrow struck her from behind. She stood motionless, stiffened, like a black statue, with a marble head and hair gilded with gold. No, Juan Sherry is not dead. He's just asleep. The mother embraced Sidonia and began to sob into her chest. Only then did the black statue shudder and come alive. She stroked her white hair, smiled, and comforted her. "Don't cry, Mommy. Don't. Nothing happened." These words, nothing happened, and the smile of the mother who had lost her child cut through the 20 pairs of eyes like a razor. Those eyes began to shift, to widen. They grew entangled. At first, then they all fixed on Sidonia's strange eyes. Martha tilted her head. Edishere glanced as well, and both of them looked at Juani's mother with fear and astonishment. Sidonia is still smiling, consoling her mother and herself. "Don't cry, or I'll cry too. God is my witness that it's not my fault. Juani has not died, Mother. He's playing in the garden. He has irises, lots of them. Juani is not here, he's resting inside. He's holding a white rabbit." The eyes grew anxious, restless. Their glare filled the room. It was followed by whispers and wandering eyes, like bushes rustling in the wind. "I'll be back soon." "Wait for me," says Sidonia, and leaves, stepping swiftly. Edishere follows her. She returned from the city only an hour later, laden with irises and dozens of different toys. "Look," she said, placing a toy car on the corpse. "Here, there's also a white bear, a racehorse, a rifle, and a white rabbit," which she brought out from the other room. She placed everything around him. Then she took the rabbit and wound it up, and a humming sounded from the animal's perked-up ears. That silly, goofy animal played one part of a waltz, Morning Dream, with clatter and rattle. The glare in their eyes, the whispering, and the shaking of heads intensified, as if a strong gust of wind had swept through the room. And Sidonia listens to the familiar waltz and smiles. She sways slightly, following the familiar tune. Then she places the rabbit on Juansher's body as well, and slowly leaves the room. Of course, Juani is not dead. He's just sleeping. They buried the child, just as thousands had been buried before. Still, this funeral procession was not like all the others. Martha, Edisheri, and the relatives followed the coffin, crying and weeping, while the mother walked as if mourning a stranger. It's definite. Juani is alive. She walks arm in arm with her mother and her husband. When one or the other feels especially heartbroken, she takes on the role of comforter. Don't, mother, don't. Edisher, pull yourself together. Don't cry. What a shame. Believe me, there is no reason for it. When they lowered the coffin, the mother looked away and turned into a statue again, just like before. And when the soil began to thud onto the coffin, the statue covered her ears and thrust into her heart like a stake. No, it's not Juani. And she kept driving that stake deeper and deeper. No, no, Juani is not dead. He's not. She returned from the funeral calm and untroubled, with a careless smile and unshakable belief. Juan Sherry is in Tsagveri. He's playing in the garden and has lots of irises, says the mother aloud on the way home. Nothing has happened. Juani is playing in the garden, the Tsagveri garden. He's holding a bouquet of irises. Although it's very hot, the boy could get a sunstroke. And here, nothing has happened at all. Undeniably, nothing has happened. If Juani had died, Sidonia would have gone straight to the Vera bridge or climbed to the attic with a rope. The other picture was better. Juansheri is in Tsagveri. He's playing in the garden and he has lots of irises, says the mother aloud on the way home. Lots of them, Eddie Sherry agrees. But it's too hot, sighs Sidonia. Ugh, too hot. Idisheri is puzzled. Cold wind is blowing. Lead-colored clouds descended upon Mamadaviti district. Passers-by are shivering. The city gets wrapped in darkness. But Sidonia is afraid. Juan could get a sunstroke. Idisheri left Sidonia with Martha and went to fetch a new doctor, a neurologist. Now Sido sits in front of Fridon Dorashvili again. She is rocking the rabbit and smiling at the doctor. She had just buttoned herself up. The doctor had examined her. "What can you tell me, doctor?" she asks. "You are healthy. I find nothing wrong with you." "I can feel the needle pricks, so I must really be healthy," she says, and thinks to herself, "It means Juani is alive too." She told the doctor everything, how Juani's illness began, about the coach ride, the frantic drive in the car, and being late for the train, the first, second, and third times. "Of course that's the reason, the only reason, that I was late bringing Juani for—" And she stopped abruptly, as if horrified. She almost let slip. "Serum administration." "Late for what?" The professor seized on the word with both hands. "Nothing. I didn't mean anything by it." "Come on, woman. Say, late for what?" I said nothing. "So, when Juani got sick, did you send for a doctor immediately?" "Of course. The nanny sent for the doctor immediately, and I brought him to the city at once. I was only 4 hours late." "Nobody is blaming you. You did your duty honestly," the doctor says plainly, his black eyes fixed on Sidonia's black eyes. "Really?" The mother jumped up, happy as a child. "Is this the truth, really?" She sat down beside him, held on to his arm, and rested her head on his shoulder, begging, pleading. "Tell me the truth, Fridon. Mr. Fridon, am I to be blamed? Am I guilty?" "No, woman. Why should it be your fault?" The child contracted diphtheria, could not overcome it, and died. The mother swiftly let go of Dorashvili's arm, as if the word died had bitten her like a snake. She looked away, pouting, sat down, and froze, casting resentful side glances at the doctor. Fridoni interrupted the long silence. "Tell me something else," the doctor says. "Tell me about your earlier adventures." "Shall I tell you a love story?" "Very well, then. Let it be about love." "Doctor, I won't be able to finish my story until morning," laughs Sidonia. I'm 26 years old, and I've been in love at least 26 times. Ha ha ha. Well then, ho ho ho, did you love them all at once? No, no, some of them separately and sometimes 2 or 3 together. Well done, woman. I like your generous heart. Once I remember, once I fell in love with 4 of them. Ha ha ha. 4 together, ho ho. Well, tell me the story of your last love. When did it happen? Who was it, or who is it? Sidonia glanced at him with suspicion. Why do you want to know who it was? I don't have anyone now anyway. All right, I believe you. Then tell me, when did the last one happen? Who knows? I don't even remember. Though, I do remember. It was 5 years before I met Eddie Sherry. I assume some loved you back, and some... Of course, I couldn't win them all. That's why you tried to take your own life several times, wasn't it? You know about it too. I know everything. Nothing can escape me. It's true, I tried, but I couldn't go through with it. Once I stepped into the Mitkvari up to my knees, but I got scared of catching a cold and turned back. Ha ha ha. Ho ho ho. And then, what happened? Suddenly she fell silent, as if shutting the window to her heart. The doctor gripped the words with tongs. Even today, what were you planning? What happened? Nothing. And she withdrew into her shell like a snail. Still, Sidonia, tell me. The doctor won't give up. He is trying to help her. What if I tell you? Sidonia peeks out of her shell. Tell me then. This morning when you woke up, you decided to kill yourself again, but you could not do it. Correct, Sidonia answers obediently. What did you do with the poison? I threw it out of the window. You did the right thing. I like that. I can't go through with it. I am not strong. The woman is about to cry. And you don't have to. Now tell me, why did you want to kill yourself this morning? Sidonia retreats into her shell again, anxious, irritated. But the doctor won't leave her alone, as if he has caught hold of her tongue and is pulling it. So you don't want to tell me? What are you hiding from me? What do you have to hide? And when she does not answer, he helps her. Then I'll tell you again. Sidonia is silent, biting her lips and staring up at the ceiling, as if evading the doctor's hook. Dorashvili won't let up, ruthless, stubborn. Listen to me, then. The reason was that, and he states it clearly, without mercy, as if branding her with a hot iron. The reason was that you lost your child. Juan Sherry died. Did you get it? Do you understand? Your child is dead. Sidonia understands, and yet she doesn't. Of course she got it, and yet she truly did not. The doctor's every word stunned and confused her at first, but she immediately toughened up. She smiled and raised the same shield she had forged for herself that morning. No, doctor, no. Juan Sherry is not dead. Then who did you bury today? Fridon Dorashvili is relentless. Mr. Fridon, I didn't know that you would be such a strict person. Today, in this room, I am not just a person, but a doctor. Only a doctor. Should a doctor have such a merciless soul, then? Sidoni, woman, leave my soul alone and worry about yours, the doctor says softly. Again, tell me, who did you bury today? Someone. Who was that someone? Salome's child. Do you know Salome? Come with me, I'll introduce you. She grabs him, leads him into the other room, and makes him look into the mirror. There, let me introduce you to Salome. She is Eddie Sherry's second wife, and she lost her child. Stop joking, Sidoni. I told you already. It was your child who died. No, Mr. Fridon, I said no. Then where is your son now? I told you earlier, he's asleep. Show me. Let's go, show me. Didn't I tell you? It's late. He'll wake up. You could show me from a distance. I can't. I'm telling you, I can't. Very well. I'll come back tomorrow morning then. Please, come. But, 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 Juan Sherry will be there in the morning, in Sagveri. All of a sudden, Sidonia stopped speaking, froze, fixed her gaze on one spot, and squinted her misty eyes, the same way she had yesterday when she gave birth to Juan Sherry for the second time. The doctor sprang up, seized her wrist with one hand, placed the other on her head, and stood still. The woman grew drowsy. Her head drooped. She sank into melancholy, slipping into another realm. Then she smiled blissfully and began to mumble, as if preaching, "Irises, flowers, garden, forest." "Where?" the doctor whispers. "Where is that garden?" "In Segveri," she murmurs listlessly after a long silence and doubt, and adds, "and in Bakuriani." "Who is in Sagveri?" "Juani. Juan Sherry." "Only Juan Sherry? Who else?" Dorashvili asks cautiously. Sidonia does not answer and continues to reminisce. "He's playing in the garden. He has a slight fever. It's hot. What if he gets a sunstroke? Take good care of him, Nanny, and a white rabbit. It's a gift from him." "Who gifted it?" "He. It's precious to me, and to Juan Sherry." "Who gifted it? Who?" Sidonia is fighting something or someone on the other side of consciousness, while the doctor is trying to pull her back. "Sidoni, Juan Sherry is dead," he reminds the mother. But the mother is obstinate. She remains silent, and that silence keeps her away. Dorashvili still persists. "You have to understand, woman, your child is dead. 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 Return to reality. Come back. Come back." But Sidonia is in Sagveri with her child, Juan Sherry. "Juan Sherry is slightly under the weather. Take care of him, Nanny. I'm leaving." "Where?" The doctor creeps into her heart. "Where are you going?" "Bakuriani. But Juan Sherry is sick. Fetch the doctor. I'll be back soon." "When?" Sidonia hesitates, then answers, "Tomorrow morning." "Did you come back on time?" Sidonia is silent, frowning. "Tell me, when did you come back?" Broken down, she fights, trembles, battles against something or someone. At last she mumbles, "On the third day, he would not let me leave." "Who? Who?" She trembles again, fighting, twitching. "Tell me, who didn't let you leave? Who was it?" "What's his name?" The doctor tries to wrench the words from her mouth by force, but his key no longer fits the almost open lock to her heart. Heartbroken, Sidonia stubbornly shuts herself back into silence. The doctor is sitting in his old place, opposite Sidonia. The woman, returned to reality, looks at him in amazement, smiles, rubs her blurry eyes, and murmurs to herself, "I have a headache. I'm sleepy. Have a good night, my Sidonia." "Good night, Mr. Freedon. Don't forget me. Now that you know your way here, visit me more often." "Yes, I will. Just serve me some jam and—" He wags his finger at her with a smile. "Open your heart to me. Don't lie to me or—" "Nothing and no one will escape me." "Really? Is that true?" Sidonia flirts. "I assure you it is, and it wouldn't be good for you either. If you crave peace and happiness, come back to this world and listen to me." "Listen to everything." She glances at him playfully with her black eyes, the way only she knows how. "Everything?" "Yes, everything, everything." "That's dangerous, Mr. Doctor, dangerous, because I like men around 40, tanned, like you. Ha ha ha. I've opened my heart, haven't I? The rest, later." "So you like them, Sidoni?" "Really? Ho ho ho, I must be lucky. I wish you joy and success. But remember, return to reality. It's risky to live up in the clouds. You'll fall and break. Besides, if you hide the truth from me one more time, I'll leave and never come back. Bye, white lady. Bye, dark man. By the way, Dorashvili turns around in the doorway and points his finger at Sidonia's chest. What is this? This. Sidonia is taken aback. This. It's a rabbit. A white rabbit. Whose is it? Who gave it to you? Mine. Mine and Giovanni's. It plays music. Plays very well. Do you want to listen? And she winds it up 3 times. No, I don't. He stops her with his hand. So who gave it to Ju Ansheri? You're not telling me? Hiding it from me? It's up to you. You know better. My advice, throw it out, burn it, or break it into pieces and throw them into the Mtkvari. Peace to you. He hurls these words at her like iron chunks and runs down the stairs. She closed the door behind him, turned around, and if Martha had not caught her, she would have sprawled in the middle of the room. Still, she pressed the white rabbit closer to herself and stumbled after the worried mother as if drunk. Edisheri is a student. He works at night, sleeps until noon, then studies for his classes and goes to the university in the evening. From there, he rushes to the club. At the moment, he is sitting with his head lowered, studying, or rather, mostly bemoaning his ill luck. Martha is nearby, rattling the dinnerware. Pale Sidonia wanders like a lost goose and hums carelessly, dragging the rabbit around. Now and then she stops by the photographs of her son that she hung on the wall recently and begins talking to him, answering her own questions. Even now she leans against the wall and greets him. Hello, Juan, Sidonia's love. Hello, Mommy. She babbles like a child. How are you? How did you sleep, my rabbit? The mother asks with concern. Very well. And you? Asks Giovanni. Me? Not great, my boy. Everyone says I've lost weight and look ugly. Why, Mommy? Why did you lose weight? Asks Ju Ansheri passionately. Because, lovely eyes, whines Sidonia. I lost weight because I can't sleep and I've lost my appetite. I can't eat anything at all. Why, Mommy, why? Because, lovely teeth, the mother complains to herself in a trembling voice, because they won't leave me alone. Torment me. Torture me. And after a pause, her complaints boil over. Who is tormenting me? You. You. Nobody else. Only you. You alone. She presses her cheek against the glass and grows still. Then, hearing Martha's quiet sobs, she turns around and hugs her mother. Mommy, why are you crying? What should I do? What happened? Then she stood over Edisheri, his head lowered, and slipped her thin arms around his neck. And what happened to you, Edisheri? Why are you moping over that book? Look up, raise your head. Don't wet the book, or I won't buy you another one. Can you hear it? Can you? Stop. Stop making noise. Someone's here. Someone's knocking. Open the door, Mother. Martha left, wiping her eyes. Dear Katushi was heard from the hall, and she brought in the 3-year-old girl. The father first picked Kato up and hugged her. Then he put her down, turned her toward Sidonia, and said, Go to Mommy, dear. Go. The mother is sitting in the armchair and frowns at her child. Kato hesitates. A finger in her mouth, she looks at her mother with surprise and suspicion. She cannot tell how the parent will greet her, whether she will yell and push her away as before, or cuddle her as she once did, before returning from Tsogvari. Then she dared to smile and ran toward her with open arms, calling, Mommy! With a look of disgust, the mother stopped the child at a distance, sprang up, and screamed at her. Why did you come? Why did you bring her here? Go! Get away from me! Take her! Never let me see her again. And she closed the door behind her. Little Kato sobs uncontrollably in the other room, while the grown-ups quietly shed their tears. Behind the wall, Sidonia is agitated. This one survived. The girl survived, while my son, my boy, Juani, Johnny, Juansheri, and neither her heart nor her mind dares to finish the thought. Juani is dead, but instead of Sidonia, someone else, something, scratches at her from the underworld. Dead, dead, dead. And this word, heavy and burning like molten metal, drips, drop by drop, into the mother's mind and heart. It melts into the veins, boils her blood, and spreads through her whole body like flame, from head to fingertips, from neck to heels. Juansheri has died, died, died. This world is too conscious, too real, and the truth is too coarse, tough as steel, hard as stone, strict as Dorishvili, and as dreadful as that day. Here, in this world, on this earth, Juansheri is dead. Juani died 2 months ago. And there, on the other side, Juansheri is still alive, and it is delightful to be there. There, at the end of November, it is still summer. It is still the end of August. Noon. The sun is melting and washing Chakveri in molten gold. Juani is playing in the garden, watering the irises. Then he winds up the white rabbit, the rabbit the mother is still clutching close to her chest. How soothing Chakveri is from that time, although there is no longer any that time. Time is dead, frozen. Sidonia is still in the past, or the past is in Sidonia's soul. What difference does it make? It is still the 20th of August, and on this date all 3 times, past, present, and future, have been tied and welded together, as in Sidonia's soul, so in her mind. Time is dead, frozen, still. And Sidonia herself is frozen within this still time. She exists only there, in that time, the end of August, in Tsagveri and Bakuriani, since that time and those places forever hover over this woman. And Sidonia, sprawled on her bed, still envisions the events of that night. "Since you insist so much," mutters the white woman, "I'll go with you. But don't forget your promise. We have to be back tomorrow morning. Don't trick me, or else. Juani is sick." They left. The night was chilly. "It's cold. Warm me up," Sidonia said then, and she is mumbling it now as well. "It's cold. Warm me up." And just like then, she is shivering, warming herself, hugging and kissing someone, whispering, "You are mad. You went mad and made me lose my mind as well. Don't suffocate me." And she is suffocating someone with her arms. Someone will see us. Oh, how shaky this train is. And Sidonia rocks on the bed, like a baby in a crib. Then she smiles and says, "Thank God we're finally here. It's dawn." It really was dawn when they went up to Bakuriani. Oh, how foggy. Sidonia is still surprised. Look at the sun, the sun. It's coming up. It's dispelling the fog. Look how high those mountains are. Dense forest, lush grass. No, no, let's not go to the forest yet. It's still dew-covered. We'll slip, catch a cold. While Sidonia and her companion were having their morning tea, the sun cleared away the fog, turned it into clouds, and wrapped them around the mountains like a cotton shroud. It also licked up the dew and drove the city vacationers out of their cabins, some to the spring or the forest, others to the market. They left, crossed the meadow, and set out for Kokta Gora. "Ooh, how many flowers," Sidonia marvels from her bed. "And what variety? Irises, lilies. What is this one called? Shkeri. So beautiful. And this, Deka? Good for you, Bardzim." And she mentions this name for the first time. How could Sidonia know that Edisheri was standing over her, eavesdropping, and that her every word twisted him like a knot in a rope? And when he heard that name, he was stunned. dumbfounded, while Sidonia was still following Bardzim. Now they are probably in the botanical garden. So this plant is a dwarf willow? What's its Latin name? Salix reticulata. Ha ha ha. You really know your botany. You haven't grown old at the university for nothing. And what about this one, with the blue flower? 100-headed? Ha ha. There must be a 10-headed one somewhere too. Slow down, Bidzina. Stop fooling around. It hurts. Now, if you truly know anything, tell me the name of this flower. What, you don't know its Georgian name? Then tell me the Latin one. Soldanella alpina, such a melodious name. There, that's Christ's ring. That is a mountain violet. And this is a mountain pine. I know their names. I suppose I know botany too. Oh, we're deep in the forest. They walked for a long time. I'm tired. Give me your hand. My dear, look. How many strawberries, raspberries too. Come on, help me. Let's pick some for Juan Sherry. They picked berries for a while. Then, when they grew tired, they lay down in the tall grass. Bidzina, my Bidzi, I love you. Your lips are so soft and warm. And she embraces and kisses him frantically, mumbling, "Don't go crazy. What are you doing?" "No, dear, don't. I don't want it. I don't. Leave me alone." She throws her arms wide and lies motionless, quiet, settling into stillness. Then she reproaches him in an obedient voice. "I'm telling you, I don't want it. But since you are so insistent, ugh, how sickening. Get away from me, get lost. I don't want to see you again, and you mustn't look at me either. Ugh, ugh." With an expression of disgust, she turned her head toward the wall. Silent, trembling with anger, his head lowered, the husband stood ready to strangle his wife. He, too, was lost to this world. He had followed the unfaithful wife, and in his mind he was in Bakuriani as well. Sidonia could not see her husband, and Eddie Sherry could not see Fridon Dorashvili, who was standing behind him, frowning, bewildered, catching every word just as Eddie Sherry was. The doctor had been late. He should have seized the husband and taken him out of the room. No one should stand between a doctor and a patient, not even a husband. He placed a hand on Eddie Sherry's shoulder, turned him around, signaled with a finger to keep quiet, and motioned with his eyes toward the door. The husband, flushed and slouched, tiptoed out. The doctor now sits at Sidonia's head instead of Eddie Sherry. One hand rests on Sido's wrist, the other on her head. The woman, oblivious, is pouting. Then her face suddenly lights up and she scolds Bidzina in a tone of reconciliation. "You're appalling. Get lost. I told you never to speak to me again. I don't want to see you nor take your hand. You're kissing me in vain. I won't make peace with you." But then they make up. She coldly kisses the air and smiles. "You're awful. I thought you were serious-minded, but you're apparently foolish. Ha ha ha, foolish. Airhead, bird-brained. Catch me if you can." Sidonia runs, flailing her arms and legs. She grows tired, pants, gasps for air. Then she hurries on, urging Bidzina. "Let's go. Let's go back, or my son, Ju Ansheri, is ill. Who knows what could happen to him?" She falls silent for a while. Then she senses that a third person is intruding into the conversation between her and Bidzina. "Why aren't you coming?" Dorashvili asks carefully. "You'll be late." "Bidzina won't let me," Sidonia defends herself. "He says it's not even 12 yet. He's lying to me." "Where are you now?" "In Bakuriani. We're walking up Kokhta Gora. Bidzina says it's a historic place. Conspirators gathered here. They were preparing a rebellion against the Mongols. Shota Rostaveli, Amir Spasalar Shenshe, Ava Gatabeg, Varam Gajeli. I know that story too, Bidzina. We studied it. Father told me as well. Then they were all captured, taken to Ani, tortured. Their bodies were smeared with honey and left naked in the sun. What a horrible torment! And still they could not break them. And then their friend and co-conspirator Tsotne Dadiani came. He undressed, smeared himself with honey, and sat beside his friends. They asked him why. He said, "I was with them, and we must share the suffering." The Mongols were taken aback by the Georgians' nobility and let them all go. "Will you be back soon?" Dorashvili presses, trying to pull Sidonia onto his path. "We're still walking. We'll be there soon. Some say the event happened on the other Kokhta Gora, somewhere there, on the border of Meskheti and Javakheti." "You are late, Sidonia. Hurry, the train is leaving." The doctor's trick works. Sidonia is in a hurry now. It seems she is running, breathing fast, panting, sweat beading on her forehead. "Hurry, hurry! We're late! Oh, it's so hot!" "You're still late, aren't you?" The doctor urges her on. "I'm late! I'm late!" Sidonia weeps, blaming Bidzina at the same time. "It's your fault, yours." "Woe to me, my boy. I won't be able to come back to you until tomorrow morning." "Did Bidzina lie about the time? Did he make you late on purpose?" asks the mysterious voice. "Of course he lied. He made me late on purpose." "So being late must be Bidzina's fault." "It's your fault, Bidzi. Yours." "So Ju-on Sherry's death is also Bidzina's fault." Remembering her son, Sidonia smiles with pleasure and hugs Ju-on Sherry tightly against her chest, rocking him and murmuring, "My Ju-on, Juan Sherry, you're so warm, my boy. My son." "Your son is dead, Sidoni," Don Dorashvili whispers to her in a firm voice. But the mother does not believe, or cannot hear him. My son," and she kisses the invisible child passionately, caressing him. "I told you, your boy is dead," Dorashvili persists. "Listen, Sidoni, understand. Your son, your Ju-on Sherry, has died. Died. Died." The doctor's words no longer reach Sidonia. His method has stopped working. Maternal passion overwhelms Dorashvili's determination. The professor throws up his arms in helplessness and leans back against the chair. Time passes. Suddenly, the dazed Sidonia opens her eyes, stares at the doctor in astonishment, and tries to get up. "Ju-ani, my Ju-ani," she mumbles, searching the bed for the child. "He was here. I just had him here." "Sidoni," Dorashvili snaps, almost furiously. "He was right here," she insists, spreading her fingers. "I had him in my arms. I still feel his warmth on my fingers. Sidoni, come to your senses." The mother seems only now to notice the doctor. "Mr. Freedon, what's the matter? What's going on? What happened to me?" "Nothing, Sido. I found you sleeping. I'll wait for you in the next room." In the other room, Edishere is pacing like a wild lion in a cage. "Edisher," says Dorashvili, placing a hand on his shoulder, "listen to me. Sidonia is a weak, powerless woman. That is why she could not bear the grief and escaped into a land of illusions. You and I are strong men. We must not grow faint-hearted. It would have been better if you had never known any of this. But since you do, you must bury it in your heart and forget it. I can't forget what I heard precisely because I am a man. What are you going to do? Tell me." "I know what to do." "Very well. But at least promise me this. You will not tell Sidonia anything, not even let her sense it. Otherwise, I promise you that. I hope for nothing more. Now go." Edishere puts on his hat and leaves. Mr. Freedon, the smiling white woman, comes out of her room, carrying the white rabbit. "Mr. Freedon, how are you?" "How are you?" Dorashvili replies coldly. He shakes her hand without enthusiasm and continues to pace. What happened, Mr. Freedon? Who made you angry? You did. Me? Really? Ha ha ha. How, Mr. Freedon? You know how. God is my witness, I don't know. Tell me. Help me understand. I've told you hundreds of times already. Hundreds. I don't remember a thing. Remind me, and if it's my fault, I'll apologize. An apology is not enough. Then what do you need? You know very well what I need. I've been coming here for 3 months in vain, the doctor mutters sullenly. In vain, Sidonia flirts, lifting her big black eyes to him. Ha ha ha. Who knows whether it was in vain or not? He who hurries loses. 3 months is not enough to win my heart. Make fun of yourself. I'm 40, I don't have time for flirting. 40? That's a wonderful age for a man. She disarms him. I've already told you that only a 40-year-old man can steal my heart. Ha ha ha. Sidoni, I haven't come here to flirt. Am I flirting? God forbid. Stop making eyes at me. Stop playing. Stop making eyes. There, I've stopped. Her eyes grow even more expressive. The black eyes, full of fire, seem calmer now, hazed, yet the long eyelashes arch with solemn passion, like 2 slow waves passing through a field of reeds at night. Ha ha ha, she laughed playfully. What can I do, Mr. Freedon? It's not my fault. My eyes won't obey me. There are many other things that don't obey you, Sidoni. For example? For example, put that rabbit on the table. There, I did, she says, placing it on the table. Now tell me, why did you put your hand on your chest again? Sidonia is stunned. Her left hand is indeed pressed to her chest. Lower it. She does, and immediately raises it back to her chest. I said, put it down. What should I do? What's happening to me? Sidonia is bewildered. She drops her hand again, but it goes right back to her chest anyway. Mr. Freedon, what is this? She grows frightened. I can't control my hand. Tell me. What's happening to me? I'll tell you. First, let's restrain it. Pass me the sheet. He wraps it around her waist, binding her arm against her body. Now listen to me, Sidoni. I can't do it. I can't. She pulls her hand free and presses it to her chest again. Let it rest there. Now tell me. When your son was sick, you lay beside him. His head rested on your arm until morning. Is that true or not? It's true, Mr. Freedon. That's where it comes from. That's why you feel compelled to hold either the rabbit close to your chest or your hand. Exactly. True, Sidonia murmurs, clutching the rabbit again. You remember Giovanni being ill, Sidoni, don't you? He sits down beside her. I remember. He was only slightly sick in Zagveri. The mother groans, her expression changing. First in Zagveri, then here, in the city. He lay in that room. Do you remember that night when your suffering boy rested on your arm? No, I don't, she whispers, trying to hide her face from the doctor. Sidoni, what is today's date? Today? She glances at the wall calendar and immediately looks away. I don't know. It must be the 19th or the 21st. What does the calendar say? God is my witness, I don't know. The calendar is right in front of you and you don't know. Then I'll tell you. Today is the 20th of November. It has been 3 months. Why are you silent, woman? I have noticed that the number 20 frightens you like fire, because Juan Sherry died on the 20th of September. Remember. Recollect. Sidonia smiles and shrugs her shoulders. Look here, Sidoni, he says, turning her head with one hand while gripping her wrist with the other. I'm asking you one more time. Where is your Juan Sherry? My Juani? He's here, somewhere here. She grows restless, her fingers twitching. I just had him in my arms. I still feel his warmth. I hear his breathing. He's here. He must be here. That's enough, Sidoni. He shakes her roughly. Come to your senses. Listen to me. You're imagining Giovanni because you saw him earlier, in your dream. A dream? Just in my dream? Oh my. Yes, in your dream. Turn around. Don't look away. He seats her opposite himself and does not take his eyes off her. Sidoni, it's time to stop this dangerous game. You lost your child. Diphtheria took Giovanni away from you. He drives the words into her head like nails. Remember, recollect. Wait, don't interrupt me. There was a white coffin in that room. Your Giovanni lay in it. You were there too. You brought him toys. You even placed this rabbit on him. Then there was a funeral, and you buried him. Giovanni is dead. Certainly dead. Admit it. Say it. Juan Sherry is dead. Sidonia gives a tormented smile and shrugs her shoulders. Fine, he's dead. And what then? So have you realized that your child is dead? Mr. Fridon, that event won't register in my mind. Those are empty words, devoid of essence. Don't lie to yourself, Sidoni. The words, your child died, are not empty. They are heavy as lead, hot as flame. But real, true. Believe me, Sidoni, everything real in this world is heavy and bitter, just like your child's death. That is why you are running from it, hiding from it, thinking you have truly escaped and disappeared. Am I right, Sidoni? True, Sidonia answers sadly after a pause. Reality is bitter, heavy. Oh, how heavy it is, Mr. Fridon. Certainly. But running away from this world and living in a dreamland is 100 times worse. Today or tomorrow, this world will catch up with you. You can't go anywhere. And it will wake you, shake you so forcefully, so brutally, that you will be broken forever, repulsive, unhinged. These words startle the listless Sidonia. She shudders. Without further compassion or restraint, Dorashvili shouts into her ear, "That is why it is better for you to return to truth, to reality. It is unavoidable, unbreakable, a conqueror and merciless to the deaf, the blind, the shut-in, yet benevolent, reliable and loyal to the obedient and the observant. You ran from it, Sidoni." The exhausted woman lets out a deep sigh. "You made yourself deaf and blind and fled to a strange land. I will tell you why. Your child died, the only son, baby Juan Sherry. Don't be afraid. I will tell you as it is. I am not a coward like you. Giovanni's death is your fault. Woe is me." Fear and trembling burst from Sidonia's heart like a fountain. "Woe is me, Mr. Fridon. What a brutal, ruthless human being you are." "No, Sidoni, no. Quite the opposite. I am a very kind person. Almost too soft. When I see someone as unfortunate as you, I am ready to weep for them. But my responsibility sometimes compels me to harden my heart, and that is what I am doing now. I am telling you this. Had you honestly fulfilled your duty as a mother, Juan Cherie might still be alive today." "Woe is me, hapless me, woe is me," the mother moans. "Don't be frightened, be strong. The truth must be digested, and you ran from it like a coward. At first you understood your fault and decided, either I must kill myself, or Juan Sherry has not died. You could not find the strength to end your life. You told me so yourself. Am I right?" "I couldn't do it," Sidonia groans. "Thank God you couldn't. That fate is for weak souls. But you chose an even worse path. You convinced yourself, and now you are trying to convince others that your son is not dead. You did not realize that by doing so, you would become a laughingstock to everyone." "Laughing?" Sidonia wails. "Yes, exactly. Everyone is laughing at you, mocking you." "Woe is me." The woman laments the loss of her self-respect. And besides, Sidonia, hundreds of millions of mothers have committed the same crime as you. That's true, I've heard of it too. The defendant grasps at the consoling thought. But the others did not kill themselves, nor did they carry on as you have. So, the guilty mother looks for yet another consolation. I'll tell you right now, you have forgotten that there is a third path besides those two. Which one? The woman murmurs as if in a dream. In the real world, the third path is the only one, and all mothers walk it. Listen and remember. When a mother loses a child, she buries it, cries, mourns, and continues on her path. Which path, you ask? I will tell you this. Besides love for a child, there also exists duty. Duty before whom? Her voice almost fails to reach him. Duty before your husband, your parents, your other children, your country, and future generations. Do you understand? Do you grasp it? I do. I understand. Now, tell me, do you believe in this duty? Sidonia lowers her head and, staring at a single point, murmurs, I believe before my Juan Cherie, and she lets herself be carried away once more by the river of illusions. My Juani, boy, sun, garden, irises, white rabbit. It's hot, terribly hot. He might get a sunstroke. White flowers, white irises. I said your child is dead. You know it. You know it very well, the doctor insists. And you also know that it is your fault. You know that too. But console yourself. The fault is not entirely yours. Bidzina took you to Bakuriani. Bidzina, let's go back, Bidzi, or Juani has fallen ill. Bidzina lied to you. He made you late on purpose. Do you understand? Bidzina made you late, so it is Bidzina's fault as well. It's Bidzina's fault. Sidonia rejoices. Mostly his. He tricked you, took you away, made you late. Now that your conscience is lighter, stop resisting. Open your eyes and admit it. Your son is dead. 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 Sidonia seems to agree. Dead. He told me so too, Bidzina. When? Where? The doctor is startled. Many times. In his room. He forced me to go. I didn't want to. I don't want to now either, Bidzi. Leave me alone. You're disgusting. This is the last time. I won't set foot there again. It's your fault Juani is dead. Yours. You're repulsive. A pervert. And then, what did he say? He lowered his head, grew despondent, and I left. Do you love Bidzina, Sidoni? I still love him. I have to love someone. I don't understand how others survive without love. I love Bidzina and Juani. Understand, Sidoni. Juani is dead. 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 Comprehend it. Grasp it. Open your eyes. Sidonia opens her eyes, looks around in confusion, and clings to the doctor seated beside her, almost embracing him. She sobs in a child's voice. Freedon, Mr. Freedon, help me, hide me. From what? From whom, Sidoni? They torture me. They torment me. Tell me, who is torturing you? What has been tormenting you? Guilt, mine and another's. And that too. What guilt, woman? Why does another's guilt torment you? Say something. Help me understand. He torments me. The guilt is his, and I am the one being tormented. He won't leave me alone. He still follows me. Sometimes he even comes here or meets me in the street. I hate him. I despise him. But I can't live without him either. Save me. Help me. And she hides behind the doctor, stroking his chest and shoulders, clinging to him. Tell me, woman. Tell me the name. The name. Oh, yes, the name. She seems to come to herself, rises, fixes her hair, then says sadly, Mr. Freedon, you won't be able to help me. The doctor rises as well and begins to pace. Each time Dorashvili is about to open Sidonia's heart, some third person intrudes like a muddy current, blocking his way. Only today, at the end of the third month, has he learned that name, by accident. Some student Bidzina. If he were dealing only with Sidonia, it would be easier to fight her guilty conscience, to force her to acknowledge her son's death. But now a third person stands in his way, competing with the doctor's influence. Sidoni, since you do not trust me, there is no point in my coming here any longer. I will leave. Farewell. Are you really leaving? Sidonia recovers instantly. Mr. Freedon, wait. Did I offend you? Forgive me, please. No, you didn't, Sidoni. But you must leave him. Who, sir? Who? You know who, the one who torments you as you yourself told me. Leave him, Sidoni. You have a husband and a child. Take care of yourself, little Cato, and your family. Otherwise, do not blame anyone for what is to come. He stands by the window, tapping his finger on the windowsill, scanning the street. Sidonia, ashamed, wrings her hands, staring at the floor. Across the street, on the pavement, a young man was standing, smoking. Sidonia, come here. I want to ask you something. Ask me, she replied, unable to move. Dorashvili took her by the hand and led her to the window. Who lives in that house across the street? He pointed toward the small one-story house and, consciously or unconsciously, drew her attention to the young man still smoking, leaning against the tree. Sidonia was stunned. She stood motionless, as if bewitched, fixing her gaze on a distant point, her chest rising and falling in a strange frenzy. Sidoni, come this way, he said, almost forcibly drawing her away from the window and seating her. I am your guest today. What do you say? A guest? Right, it's almost dinner time. My God, I'd like nothing more. But I don't have anything suitable for you. Calm down, don't worry. My tastes are simple. You stay here. I'll step out and be back in half an hour. Is that all right with you? With great pleasure. And she got busy. Mother, Mommy, get on with it. Prepare. Set the table. The student was pacing the pavement. Dorashvili passed him by and smiled with his eyes. The student tipped his hat, having noticed the professor watching him from a distance. Hello, Bidzina, Dorashvili said, then paused. Isn't your name Bidzina? Yes, my name is Bidzina. I know you. I've known you for a long time, though I've forgotten your surname. Margishvili. Bidzina Margishvili. You're a botanist, aren't you? Yes, Bidzina says, pleased. Let's take a walk, Bidzina. They walked arm in arm while the professor was telling him, You won't see such an autumn anywhere else. There is winter everywhere, and here, look, a clear sky, April warmth, and spring sunshine. Yes, warmth, sun, spring, Bidzina agrees. A moment later, the professor asks, What do you think of this, Bidzina? A woman is suffering from hysterical psychosis, and a certain young man refuses to leave her alone. What would you say about such a man? Bidzina shrugs awkwardly and stammers. I think, to put it mildly, that such a man is not a knight. I think so too, the professor says, looking him straight in the eye and offering an emphatic piece of advice. I hope that from now on that young man will behave like an honorable knight. Goodbye, Bidzina. Take care. The professor read the newspaper only before dinner. Until then, he never had time. He always began with the black frames, glancing over the names of the dead. Even now, he looked at page 4 and gasped, We announce that the life of student Bidzina Margishvili has met a tragic end. He moved down to the daily events and found, Yesterday, at 3 in the morning, student Bidzina Margishvili was fatally shot by an unknown assailant. It appears the victim returned fire twice. The murderer fled the scene. The investigation is ongoing. Dorashvili got up, paced the room, sat down again, reread the newspaper, then rose once more. Half an hour later, Edisheri opened the door. "Hello, Edisha." "Hello, Mr. Freedon. Please, come in." It was dark in the corridor, and in that darkness 2 pairs of eyes clashed. The standoff lasted a moment, as if each were waiting to see who would break first. The doctor held the newspaper in his hand. Edisheri glanced at it briefly, then looked into Dorashvili's eyes again. As if guessing, or no longer able to endure the confrontation, he let a faint smile flicker at the corner of his mouth, lowered his gaze, and escaped the stare. "Don't you want the guest?" the doctor asks coldly as he takes off his coat. "Mr. Freedon," Sidonia almost screams from the doorway, "you finally remembered us. For the love of God, why would you forget about me?" And she clings to his arm. "If you had come earlier, we would have invited you to dinner." "Thank you. I've already dined." "Sidoni, you still haven't gotten rid of that rabbit." No, Sidonia could not get rid of it. What harm had the rabbit ever done to anyone, she wonders, and for her it is the only delight she has left. The doctor frowns, examining everyone and everything, as if seeing them for the first time. Now and then his gaze lingers on Edisheri, who sits nervously, fidgeting, unsure where to hide his eyes or his hands. Sidonia is still fussing around gleefully, trying to put smiles on everybody's faces, but, unsuccessful in infecting her husband and the guest with her cheerful mood, she is instead poisoned by theirs and falls into gloom as well. Silence descended upon the room, harsh, heavy, suffocating. Edisheri seized the moment. "Mr. Freidon, I have to apologize. The doctor is taken by surprise and almost pleased. Are you leaving? Are you in a hurry? In a big hurry? All right, go. Sidonia will entertain me." "What's new, Mr. Freedon?" Sidonia asks after Edisheri leaves. "New? You should have news for me. Do you read newspapers?" "Of course I do, but I haven't read today's issue." "Why?" "He didn't bring it. Edisheri told me it never came out today." "Really?" "Perhaps, and he thinks about something as if devising a battle plan." "What's this, Sidoni? Why do you keep the room dark? Why have you closed the shutters?" He moves to open them. "No, Mr. Freedon, don't open them." Sidonia rose. "Why, woman?" The doctor paused. "Because, for..." Sidonia grew anxious. "I wouldn't like it. It would feel strange." "Why strange, Sidoni?" Sidonia turned the armchair around, sat with her back to the window, and answered, "It's nothing. Open them if you want." The doctor opened the shutters. White light flooded the room. Outside, it's early winter. Snow is falling. The city had been dressed in white. "Sidoni, I'm waiting for your answer. What would be strange?" "Nothing, Mr. Freedon." "Nothing? Then I'll tell you myself." "Please, tell me." "It's winter outside, Sidoni." "Winter? Ha-ha!" She shrugged her shoulders. "Yes, winter. Snow. What do you say to that, woman?" "I don't know." "What do you mean you don't know?" "Look outside and tell me, is it winter or summer?" "It's summer. It's hot." "Summer? That must be why you always wear white." "Of course. White is best for summer. Other dresses are too hot." "Are you hot now, Sidoni?" "Definitely. It's very hot. The pine is melting in the forest. The garden is full of flowers. Irises, roses, lilies." "Sidoni," the doctor called in a strict voice. "Juan Sherry is running around the garden." She does not seem to hear the doctor's voice. "He's watering the irises." Then he winds up the rabbit and plays a tune. There, I hear it playing. She fiddles with the rabbit as it plays a fragment of a waltz. Then she stops it abruptly, as if frightened by the rabbit's noise. "No, rabbit, no." Stop, be quiet. It's better to be silent, quiet, still. Sidoni, look outside and tell me what you see, he says, taking her hand to lead her to the window. No, Mr. Fridon, don't make me look. For the love of God, why is it necessary to wake me up? It's necessary for you, Sidoni, for you and your relatives, your child, your husband, your mother. I believe that, but it isn't necessary for me. Sidoni, you have good eyes and a sharp mind. You can clearly see this snow. You must recognize it, understand it. Winter is here. It's winter, hey! Sidonia begins to hum and adds, Give me the first voice, Mr. Fridon. Sidoni, you don't feel like singing, and neither do I. If you don't stop joking, I'll leave. He moves to rise. Sidonia grabs his arm with both hands. What do you want from me, Mr. Fridon? What? She pleads. Tell me what you see outside. That's all. Then I'll tell you snow. I see snow too, as white as this rabbit. So, what season is it now, Sido? Summer or winter? Let's say winter. So what? Then why do you say it's summer, that you're in Segveri, and that your Jew on Sherry is playing in the garden? Because... She falls silent. Because, Dorashvili finishes for Sidonia, because you have not been able to grasp time, Sidoni. If you say it is winter, then you must also acknowledge that your Jew on Sherry died at the end of summer. Died again. Nothing but died. My God, always died. Died, the stubborn mother sobs. Don't you believe, Sidoni, that it is winter now? That last summer, August 20th, I believe, Jew Anshiri died. I see with my eyes that it is winter. My ears and my mind tell me that Jew Anshiri died. I recognize it. Are you happy now, Mr. Fridon? But what? But, I can't feel it, Mr. Fridon. Jew Anshiri died to Salome. But I do not feel my child's death. Then what do you feel? Summer, heat, the pine melting. Again? Juan Sherry is playing in the garden. White irises, white flowers, a white rabbit. Earlier I felt my boy on my chest and in my arms, and I feel him now, small, tiny, so tiny. You want to persuade me that Juan Sherry is dead. You want to drag me down to this wretched earth from the blessed heaven, and I don't know why, for what. I repeat, Sidoni, for you, and only you. You think of the earth as an unhappy place, and heaven as paradise. That is your mistake, Sidoni. That is the root of your illness, and I tell you this. Only on earth do grief and joy exist, sorrow and bliss, life and death. While there, in the heaven you invented, there is nothing at all, except the lie you have concocted. Juani, my child is there. The mother begins to weep. Juanshiri is in the ground, Sidoni. Only his shadow is there, cold, dry, soulless, without blood. Warm, Mr. Fridon. My boy is warm. My boy. He seems warm for 5 minutes when you lose consciousness, and for those 5 minutes you sacrifice your life, your duty, your happiness, your mother, your husband, and your second child, Cato, little Katusha. Katusha, my Katusha. And you suffer without end. I suffer, I know what is happening in your heart. You are burning. Is that true or not? Ing, true. Then do not torture yourself or others any longer. Admit it. It is December now. De, chem, ber. Repeat it. It is December. Des, December. Your son, your Juani, is dead. My son, my Juani. And again she closes her eyes, drifting away, growing distant. Juani. It's summer, hot. Irises, boy, sun, white rabbit. Sidoni, your Bidzina turned out to be a scumbag. Oh no, Sidonia grows anxious. He disgraced you everywhere, shamed you, humiliated you. Humiliated, shamed. Scumbag, jerk. Dorashvili hammers each word. Scumbag, jerk, Sidonia repeats angrily. Disgusting, filthy. Oh, you're disgusting, filthy. Bidzina also killed Juani. Bidzina killed him. Bidzina did. That's why Bidzina deserves to die too, Dorashvili pronounces the verdict. He deserves it, he does. Sidonia is merciless. Then let him die, the doctor shouts. Let him die, let him die, Sidonia echoes. There, I killed him. Rejoice. Oh, yes, the vindicated woman groans joyfully. There, shoot him, shoot. Bidzina is dead, Sidoni. I avenged you and Juan Sherry. Sidoni, Juani is dead too. Dead. The doctor barely hears her. Remember this, remember it well. Juan Sherry is dead too. Dead, dead. Sidonia almost begins to cry. Juani died 4 months ago, Sidonie, and Bidzina will be buried today. Today. Will be buried today, poor soul. The avenged woman already pities him. It's announced in the newspaper, too, printed in bold black letters. Read it. Read it. Read. He drove the words into her like nails, then let go and sat down. Sidonia opened her eyes and jumped up, as if a storm had broken in her soul, terrified, agitated, snatched like a feather by the wind. Her big eyes filled with fear. She was seized with terror. She looked around. With a crazed stare, she searched for something, desperate to find it. And she found it. The open newspaper was already in front of her, and in the corner of that paper, within a mourning border, was written in bold black letters, "Tragically passed away, Bidzina Margishvili." She rubbed her eyes as if waking up, and stared at the paper again. Dead, Sidoni. The doctor offered help in a low voice. Dead, Sidonia says deliriously. Bidzina is dead, Sidonie, Dorashvili repeats compassionately. Bidzina is dead. Dead, Sidonia says in gasps and rubs her forehead. Dorashvili wrapped his arms around her waist, pulled her close to his chest, and poured into her ears in a melted voice. Juan Sherry is dead too, Sidonie. Juan Sherry too. Juani, my son too. The woman trembles. Yes, Sidonie, yes. Your son is dead too. Dead, dead. Why aren't you crying, wretched mother? I said your child is dead. My child has died. Mr. Freedon, help me. And the reawakened mother clutches the doctor with both hands, shivering, and screams, Juani is dead. 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 And all the grief and sorrow accumulated over 4 months, moans and tears, misery and laughter, burst out like a fountain from the ground. Sidonia squirms and screeches for a long time. Mommy, she grabs Martha, who has rushed into the room. Mother, help me. Juani has died. Mr. Freedon, my child is dead. I lost my son. Exhausted, bitten down by an hour of unrest and anguish, the mother now grows withdrawn and follows the victorious doctor with an upset, childish whimper. It is real. Now a great debt weighs on your shoulders. A great debt. You have to raise Cato. My car, Cato. Edisheri needs sympathy too. True, sympathy. You have to have another boy. Don't you want that, Sido? I do want another boy. It's time we get rid of this rabbit, Sidoni. My rabbit. No, Sidoni, this is not your rabbit. He gifted it. Take it. Take it away. Besides, it has tortured us enough. That's why it can't live in this house anymore. He twisted its neck, tore its head off, ripped it apart, opened the door, and tossed it to Martha, adding, "Burn it right now, Mrs. Martha." Within a few seconds, Sidonia began sobbing again. Cato, Ed, Edisher. Cato and Edisheri stood in the doorway. The tiny girl worried her lips with her fingers and looked at her mother with wide eyes, asking silently, "Do you still hate me, or can I come to you?" Then, seeing her mother's open arms and hearing her own name, Cato, she ran forward and embraced her newly found mother. And the mother wrapped one arm around each of them, the husband and the daughter, and kissed them in turn, stumbling over her words. My Cato, my Edisher, my Katushi." Then she caught the doctor's outstretched hand. "Mr. Freedon, farewell." Well, instead of Salome, the former Sidonia is looking out from the mirror again, only whiter now, exhausted, red-eyed with a crushed soul. There is no longer fear or lightning in her eyes. They seem aloof, burning with a soft light, just like their owner. Her hand no longer jumps to her chest, and there is no white rabbit pressed against her heart. Instead, little Cato sits on her knees, her head close to the mother's heart. The child's tiny finger strokes her cheek, just as Juan Sherry's hand once did, and those fingers, too, are filled with Juani's warmth. Published in 1927.